Hey,
It's
y'all.
Wednesday. What's going on?
Hey.
It's
It's Podcast
Wednesday.
Wednesday. What's happening, people? What's going
Podcast
on with y'all?
Wednesday.
How y'all feeling? How y'all living? How y'all loving? How y'all doing?
It's good. It's
What's up, Queen?
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It seems so slow. I don't
Really?
know if it was me. I was telling my friend Samantha that it seems slow. She was like, Candace, where you been at? Like the week been going by fast. But I say the week
Fast.
going by fast for her because you coming to Tallahassee from Dallas, so that's why it seems fast for you.
Yeah.
But see, I ain't really been. I've been between clients right now, so I've been home a lot, and I'm just like, this shit here is boring. See,
Yeah,
I
because you
be
don't like
like,
because you're not used to being home though. Being home ain't your
man, look
thing
here,
either.
be I be sitting up here, TV be on. I just be like, what that shit to do? Like, what is it to do? This is boring. Like, who? Who sits at home? Who sits at home? It's all right for
Child.
the first two, maybe 2, 3 days. But baby, I'm like,
People
I'm
who
ready to
make
make some
money at
money.
people who make money at home, they don't it don't mind them. But when you ain't making
Yeah.
money at home, it's a whole different feeling strategy. It's a whole different effect. It ain't the same. So no.
Child, baby.
So
I
what's
don't
up,
care
y'all?
if
How y'all doing? Welcome to
mm-mm.
Wednesday's SW Podcast Wednesday. It is June 8th. We are here. We are popping.
Ooh.
We are trying to get through the rest of this week. Queen says going slow. I think it's flying by. And the reason why I probably feel like it's flying by is because I have a chef sampler this Saturday that I'm
Yeah.
catering and being is my chef sampler. It's Shelby's Bistro. And
Yes.
it's just, it's
It's
exciting.
work.
It's
I'm
just so much
excited for
work.
you. I wish I could be here. I
It's
got a
just so
wedding to
much
go to.
work. You got stuff.
But
You
I
got
know you're
stuff
gonna be
going
having
on,
another one.
and
I already know you're gonna be
we're gonna
having
do a
another
fall
one.
one. We're gonna do a fall one, but
Ooh, come on now.
the summer one is the introduction of some new fresh spring food ideas and some things that I've been kind of like doing behind the scenes. But the fall one will bring out some fall fresh foods as well. We're gonna have something in the
Ooh.
spring that will also be in the fall, which is the soul rolls. They're going to be soul egg rolls. So those will still be offered at the fall event. They're just being introduced for the first time at the spring event. So
Okay, that's
if
what's
you
up.
if you are looking for something to do this Saturday between 2 and 5 p.m., you don't have to stay the whole time. It's just for you to come out and experience some new entree, well, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres through Shelby's Bistro. We will be at
Ooh.
2500 Merchants Row Boulevard in Southwood at the clubhouse. And it's from 2 to 5 p.m. Tickets can be purchased through my Cash App or my PayPal business Shelby's Bistro account, or you can purchase them at the door. So we shall see you all Saturday.
Go eat.
A
Look,
little
go get
promo
y'all
in the
belly
middle of the
full.
show.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But y'all, today we're gonna talk about how you process things. And before we get into the actual show, but of course we do our quote of the day. And um, it's a heavy. The topic is kind of heavy because a lot of people don't really know how to process their emotions or their feelings. They just keep going and keep going and keep
Hmm.
going, and a lot of times with that brings trauma or neglect to just yourself in general. Like you're not feasible or happy because you're too concerned with the lack of. And that means
Hmm.
either you're mad with the fact that you didn't do anything about something when you was processing it, or you didn't do what your heart actually told you to do and you went another direction. A lot of times we just tend to stray away
Yeah.
because we don't want to deal with it. So we're going to talk about how you process certain things today and why does processing something even matter. So, but before we do that, we're going to jump into our quote of the day,
Quote.
which is what we are waiting, what we are, I was just reading it like that, Shelby, that is not right. It's what we are waiting for is not as important as what happens to us while we are waiting. Trust the process. And I
Mm.
want you to think about that. Like think about that last part of the quote is not as important as what happens to us while we are waiting. Because think about getting started with something, going through it, and finishing it. The going through it part
It's the
is
hard part.
that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
So how you deal with the hard part is going to help determine the outcome of the situation.
Hmm.
But you got to deal with your shit properly. You can't be thrusting it around, acting unfazed, trying to walk through it without actually going through it. Like you got to
Hmm.
actually go through the process. The process is important.
Most definitely.
So, Queen, what you think of the quote?
I like that because at the beginning of what you're going through, and it depends on the situation. Depends on the situation, but I'm gonna put it in for as like business concept. Starting off, you excited, like, oh man, I got my LLC, I got my EIN, like man, look, my name, my cards, everything. Like you good at that beginning stage. Beginning stage, you ride like you excited every day. You get your first couple of customers, whatever you do in business, they come. It's uphill from here. But when it starts to tilt,
Hmm.
when that decline start, you still in the process of everything because you ain't got to really where you want to be. But that middle, the beginning, the middle, the end, that middle is what kill you every time. And that middle part is what make a lot of people give up with what they try to accomplish because they can't see past where they at right there in that
Mm-hmm.
middle during that process. If you can
Mm-hmm.
see past where you at right there during that process and get all the way to the end, you're gonna accomplish your goal. But
Very true.
it's a learning process.
It's a learning
And
process. You got
sometimes it's really discipline because you can't skip the middle to get to the end because you're gonna always end up going back, starting over again because you got to go through all three phases. You got to go through all three phases. But you have it's that middle gets you every time. But baby,
and that's
speaking from
why you
experience,
going through the whole process. That's why it's important to be mindful of what you're going through versus what you
yeah,
got to get through. Because
yep.
you when uh hold on. Hey Kels, how you doing today?
Hey, Kels.
What's going on, Mr. DJ Meeks?
Hey,
What's
Meeks.
up, Meeks? All right. So as we were saying though, what the process and going through that whole middle portion is not only what defines your process, but it can like Queen said, it can make you or break you because those are
Hmm.
the times that are going to you're going to be tested the most. The difficultness comes through that time. Um, the every well, shoot, to be
The
perfectly
learning,
honest,
everything come through that
everything
time.
comes through at that time. The questions, the constant trials and constant tribulations, all that is a whole supplement of what the middle part is. There's no middle that has been completely easy.
Mm-mm.
So you definitely gotta. I think that quote it resonates because it speaks directly to what you have to go through or what you gotta do to go through.
Yeah,
And so what we are waiting for is not as important as what happens to us while we're waiting. Trust the process, and that is by author Mandy Hale. So
it's easy once you get over that hump. Once you get over that middle, man, that thing flow like that water faucet when you turn it on.
yes, it does.
It flow just like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's always that middle part.
Well, it flow
No
like
matter
that
what
if it
situation
flow
is.
like that if you actually allowed yourself to trust the process and go through it.
Hmm.
Now, if you starting to navigate but trying to look for easy parts through the navigation, you can go
Yep.
ahead and just start questioning your thought process from here on out because now
Hmm.
you have derailed your whole plan. The only time you want to go on a different path for the plan is if it's going to be a better path, but you don't look
Yep.
for an easier path. It's never anything
And
easy
never
in
an
the
easy
process.
path.
If you're
Mm-mm.
looking for easy, you building wrong. You're not building correctly if you're looking for easy. Nothing is supposed to be
And nothing
easy with
come
this.
easy. Yeah, it ain't gonna
Nothing.
come easy. Not
So
greatness. Greatness don't come easy.
no, of course not. Of course not. That's just the way. That's just the way it is. Do not come easy.
Some things will never change.
Right. And that's just that. So,
But
okay.
trust
So,
it though.
just,
Trust yourself though.
but you
That's
are a part of
like
the process.
you're a part of
That's,
that process, but
yep.
you got to truly trust and believe in yourself and whatever your faith, whatever beliefs you have, that too.
Mm-hmm.
All of that too. And if you whatever beliefs you have, that's what's gonna truly. I know for me, that's what kept me going. Even on them days, I'd be like, man, I want to just give up, man. This thing, I ain't got time for this. It ain't going the way that I want it to go, but it ain't gonna never go the way that you absolutely want it to go, because it's
No.
always something better and greater in that plan that you thought you planned, but it's always something bigger and greater in that plan outside the plan that you already what you your plan A is always gonna not be what
And
you
if you
want
got
it
it
to
set
be.
up, and if you got it set up in a beneficial manner, and you see the outcome being exactly how you planned it, that's because that means you structured it right.
Hmm.
You going the way you having it go the way you want it to go, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a little bit of an obstacle. It just means that you got to work through it. And
Hmm.
that's really what it boils down to. It's going everything we're going to kind of linger back to is going to be trusting what you got to go
Trusting
through
the
to get to
process.
it. So, what does processing something even mean? It means to deal with something according to a particular set of actions. So, if you set some actions and some goals up on what you're going to travel through, that maze you got to go through to get through to that other side, you're processing your thoughts. Processing your thoughts and feelings is something that matters, and it's going to be beneficial if you actually set those actions to be realistic. Um,
Hmm.
and that's another thing too. A lot of our goals and our actions in the process don't start off realistically, which is why it end up taking longer to get through it, because you didn't actually set realistic goals. You set things that you thought would appease you as you move through the situation.
Hmm.
You gotta get through it. So some of the ways that you can actually process a lot of those particulars would be to journal, write out how you're feeling, write out your goals, write out your desires, and follow that path, especially if it's a resonating path.
Yep, got to. Journaling is very it's good. It helps. It truly helps. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if people a lot of people don't journal, but journaling is good. It don't even have to be paragraphs. It could just be a couple of sentences
Mm-hmm.
that you just jot down. A thought come to mind, man, write it down. A
That's
vision
right.
come to mind, write it down. Like even if from the dream that you had the night before that you can remember, write it down. Because it's always gonna be something that it's a lesson in everything that's gonna help you get through that through the process.
Very true indeed. And most more times than none, if you can write it out, you will make it work out. Like if you can write it
Hmm.
down, it's to simplify it to make it sound and look how you need it to sound and look, then you pretty much gonna have a perfected situation. But you gotta be talking to somebody about the things that's bothering you in the process. And if you're not a talker, writing that shit down, literally, I'm telling you, when you write it down, what end up happening is you start reading what you wrote.
Hmm.
And it's either gonna make sense to you or it's gonna make you look at yourself like, I know you ain't over here worried about that. Because somewhere in the process we can get alienated and sidetracked.
Yeah, in our own mind.
And when you write down something and you read it and it don't make enough sense to you as to why you doing it, then that ain't the right way to
That
go.
ain't it. That ain't for you.
No,
It ain't for
no,
you.
no, it's not. So that's definitely a mindful thing to do. Write it down. Write it down. make yourself read what you write down so you can see if something makes sense even to you before you get yourself all wound up about
You all gassed up. You don't even know what's about to happen on you. You all around her gas. You gassed. I mean, you gassed up. You ready? Boy, look, that thing don't go the way you want it to. You go.
it. Telling
You
you
just
now.
slump down.
I am
But you
telling
got
you,
to
it's
trust
so
it.
easy. It's so easy. So easy. Make a list of the things that are beneficial to you while you're going what in your process, your outcome. What's beneficial about the outcome that you want to see? Write it down. Like making a list of those things keeps you on track and in focus to what you're aiming for.
Hmm.
So yes, talk to yourself about your feelings. Yes, if that's in the more, and especially if you don't have nobody. Like I said, if you don't have, everybody got somebody to talk to. Everybody has somebody. But if you feel like this is something you just want to figure out on your own, these are some of the things you can do to get through that because every process ain't for everybody to be a part of. So
Mm-mm.
how you process certain information and how you process a situation, and when we're talking about processing a situation, it's not all the way about business. These are just, this could be something that's going on in your
Just
day-to-day
life.
life. So if you got
Going to
something
work
that you're
on
going
time.
through, right, if you got something that you're going through and it's taking some energy from you and it's making you sit there and be frustrated, you got to put together a process to streamline how you deal with that.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're going to continue to keep walking in that same darkness and come back to the same beginning of the same situation.
Over and over and over again. And
Insanity.
that can be very, and that can get very aggravating and very frustrating. And you already
And you're
frustrated on
already
top of it.
frustrated.
So it's gonna make
So
it even worse and lead to
so
depression.
it, or doing uh damage to other people,
Hmm.
even more to yourself. It's just things that you got to do, dog. Like I think a lot of times we just get so caught up in our day-to-day stuff that we forget that we still human and don't prioritize how we move through situations. There are a lot of times we
Yeah,
just do not think through our situations. We just go.
that's it. And that's what
No,
we've been conditioned to do.
I know.
Just
That's
go.
why we're gonna change your condition, your mindset. Because
Yeah,
I'm one thing about me. I'm a thinker. I like to the topics are chosen specifically for you to sit up and do some soul searching. These not
yeah,
just regular things. It's things that we need to talk about that we don't want to talk about. That's what we talk about on SW Podcast. Things that affect the Black culture, specifically Black women, but our culture in general that we don't want to talk about. Like when we talked about um what was that one? Love languages.
love language.
When we talk about
Got to
like
know the
any,
love language.
yeah, when we talked about high functioning depression in Black women or just the Black culture in general,
Culture,
these,
period.
when we talk about things like that, those are things that are affecting us as a whole, and we need to discuss them in safe spaces. We need to talk about them. We need to be directive. We need to look for
Hmm.
solutions, and we need to process them. And that's what we're
And
doing
help each
today.
other.
Yeah, as to get through each thing.
Hmm.
And we need to start being a listening force to be that to people, like where they, like if somebody just want to come talk to you about certain things, they may not want any advice, they may just want to talk, be a listener.
Yeah, everybody need that listening ear.
We
And
all need it.
it don't even mean that they want your opinion.
Mm-mm.
They don't want none from you. They just want you to sit there and listen. But you also got to be careful who you
Give your
give
words
that
too.
information to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful who you give that information to. As a quote somebody posted, be careful who you vent to because the whoever you vent to also, it said something also about it gets to other venters or something like that. And I was like,
Mm.
that's interesting. But hey,
Well, you can't talk to everybody about everything.
but
So
you got that person that you can talk to that you know you can
and we
trust.
all do.
Everybody have that person.
We all do. And there's other things that, like, a lot of us get really, really angry in our processing. We have temper tantrums. Those are adult temper tantrums. When you want to go punch some shit, use a pillow. Don't hurt your hand. Don't
Go
break
to
your
the gym.
fingers.
Go to the gym.
Go to the
Go
gym.
to the gym.
But you got to do something to get rid of that, because
Yeah,
sometimes
that tension.
processing information and processing what you're going through can really make you angry. Be like, that nigga don't try to fuck out of me. Seriously.
You be ready.
You be ready. You be so riled up until, like, it's nothing that can calm you down. It's nothing
Hmm.
nobody can talk, no ledge nobody can talk you off of. And all you trying to do is get to the next day. But your
That's it.
temper is at an all-time high.
You on 10. You on 10.
It ain't always to be hit out. You can scream to the top of your lungs, go in your room or get in the shower and cry. I know when I don't want my kids to know I'm crying about stuff. Or if
You
I'm
go in the
dealing with
shower.
stuff personally, I
I'll
go
be
in
in
the
the
shower
bathroom.
and cry in the shower and let it out
But
in
I didn't
there.
learn that my kids can hear me in the kitchen if I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. Like they can literally like
They
hear
can
me.
hear
And I didn't know
everything
that
and
until
nosy.
my dad, think when my dad died, I remember Zoe saying, she was like, well, we didn't know they didn't know my daddy like that. Like they know my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And they was just, Zoe was like, I was more hurt for you, Mom, because I heard you crying in the shower.
See,
So
it's a
like,
lot, and that's how
hmm
you process it. You Is ways we don't want to deal with it out in the open, because, like, a lot of times we've been taught that our strength has to outweigh our weaknesses. So shedding
that
those
go back to
tears and
that high
the
functioning
high functioning
depression.
depression. Yes, this culture has high functioning depression out the wazoo. Kel said he goes 0 to 100 real quick. I'm definitely working on that myself. I'm glad you are, but you got way too many
Yeah.
weapons. So
Yeah.
you got. I'm glad you are, my buddy, because you,
Call
like,
somebody, Kels. Call somebody before you get to 50. You need to be on the phone with somebody that can hold you accountable and be like, bruh, King, calm down, King. Calm down. Calm down,
most
King.
times, based from talking to him about certain things with that, most times he do it to himself. He know how to calm himself down.
Calm himself
But
down, yeah.
there's been times, because we're friends, so there are times when we have the conversations about it, because you gotta be able to you talking about shells because I said them. But we talk about it. We gon' because and he'll tell me, shells, you be my other, that other
that that
voice.
that that little voice sit up
Yeah.
over here on the right hand side of his shoulder, like,
And,
hey,
or if you need that other person opinion, or you need another eyesight, another vision of it, it ain't always got, because sometimes some of us, a lot of us are tunnel vision in life. We only see shit our way and our way
mm-hmm.
only. Our way and our way only. That's it. So you got to have interjection with another person sometime, to where let me throw this out there for you. Let me just give you this idea of what this may have been versus what you think it was.
You
What's
need
up,
that.
E? Happy
Hey,
birthday,
E.
Fee. Y'all
Hey,
have
Fee.
fun.
Happy, talking about from Tampa. Okay, why you didn't take us on the vacation birthday today?
Y'all have fun. Enjoy yourself. Make a baby.
Enjoy, enjoy.
Make a baby.
Uh, a boy. Look, I'm gonna call the gender out, a boy. You already have a boy,
A
a boy.
boy. Definitely a boy, but make a baby. Just long as it's
But yeah,
healthy.
but even back to chaos for him to be able to calm himself down. That lets you know, well, you maturity. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was the same way. I wasn't able to calm myself down. Now I'm able to calm myself. And I was telling a friend like your maturity. It look, pat yourself on the back for growth because it is hard. It is hard. So you have to pat yourself on the back because going back to what we saying, what we talking about, going through the process, man, you be beating your own stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
be
really
beating
do.
your own stuff up, saying stuff about yourself, calling yourself all these negative words because you ain't accomplished what you set out to accomplish. But now you still going through the process. It don't happen overnight.
It never does. It never
But when you're able
does.
to hold yourself accountable and know, like, okay, let me calm myself down, get myself together, get my head on right.
And shake it
You done
off.
lost, you done lost your mind for 5 minutes, Candace. Get yourself together, and you going on about your business.
But you definitely got to get through it though. And
You do.
that's why I said like and let me tell you something that'll calm you down. That when I was in counseling, going to therapy or whatever, my therapist told me that when I'm angry and when I'm taking a long time to get over something, get a piece of paper and rip it up into tiny pieces. And by the time you're done with that piece of paper, you're gonna be calm because you're gonna be so mad that you sit over there having to rip
Ripping
up
up
this
that
paper
paper
to calm you down. So your mind
and
gonna now
probably saying
trigger
something to
to the
yourself.
paper exactly you because it's making you realize that this ain't even that much. That ain't it ain't even worth it. It
Yeah,
might be, but that's not the way you can handle it.
yeah,
One day I was so happy Jada had my car when something had happened, where I needed to get away from the job and go say something to handle something. I was so happy my child had my car because had I had the car, I would have jumped right in and it went right where I wasn't supposed to go.
yep.
Cause ain't at
Thank
that
God
it's
for
a
that.
but guess what though? Like I'm one of those people that the drive gonna change my whole mind.
Yeah, because about time you as you get in the
Girl,
car, you start thinking about that thing.
girl,
You like,
like child,
hell,
I will be
girl,
in
you
jail. Ain't
tripping.
nobody worth me going to jail behind.
You finna turn
Especially if
all
it
the way
ain't my
back
kids.
around.
Turn I
Yeah,
went right on home. So you got it's so different things to help you. And like I said, if you need to vent, vent. But you
yeah.
do gotta be careful about who you vent to. Um, it matters because what was every listening what the thing say every listening ear every
The person you vent to is something about
I heard
like
like a
your
running
business get
mouth.
out. Yeah,
It was
like your business get
it's a
back
lot of
out or
different
something.
ways you could say it, but I
Yeah.
know one of the ways I definitely heard it was every listening ear can have a running mouth. I don't know, but what's up, B? How you doing, Beezy? But I definitely
Hey
heard so
B.
many different sayings that are in relation to who you talk to and who you spilling your information to. And it's you got to be very, very mindful of who you letting stuff go out to because you cannot take it back once you put it out there into the atmosphere. It does
A
not,
vent to
you
your
can't
own self.
rewind it and repeat. It's
Mm-mm.
not going nowhere. You can't
Mm-mm.
even
That's
do
why I
what they
never
doing with the new
understand how people
iPhones where you can edit your what you done sent and you can take it back and edit it. No, it can't do that.
oh yeah, I did see that with the new iPhone. I'm like, oh, you can edit what you gonna send to people and take it back. Like, is it gonna
So
be
all them
that fast? Because
screen, so all them yeah,
some people text they flash that thing quick. Like, oh, I see you see that.
you know why it's protecting the people who be get screenshotted all the time. Now you can go and edit your message. I bet it's a
Look,
lot of
I
people
didn't even
going
know it's Snapchat until probably like a year or two ago that if you screenshot somebody's stuff, it
it
notified them.
Snapchat notify you. Yeah.
I say, what type of look? It might be just something that I like that I want to look. Let me see where they
Mm-mm.
get that from. Let me screenshot that.
But they
Like,
said Snapchat is the app that allows you to put on your stuff for 24 hours and it disappears. So it's supposed to
mm,
disappear. And for somebody to screenshot, not saying that it's going to stop them from having it in their phone, but it is going to notify them. And now you got the option of whether or not you want to block them or not.
that is crazy. I get
Because
it
people,
though.
because people so cruel in this world though. Like
Yeah.
you
Cause they
can't. But
screenshot something quick, child, and send it to somebody. Girl, you seen such and such? Girl, no, I ain't got time to see such and such and what they did. I'm finna screenshot it to you. Don't send it to my
mm-mm.
phone.
But don't. My thing is this: like, if you feel like if it's something that you don't even want nobody to know about it, why would you put it on the internet anyway?
That part.
That's really my thought
That
process.
part.
Like it's things that I'm gonna do without. I ain't never. I live my life every day without showing it on in the internet. So why you feel like if you put it on here that ain't nobody gonna screenshot it, baby? They talking anyway. So just
And
okay.
let them
So your
talk.
health and your goodness can be based on your choices. So in your choices, and we still talking about the choices through the process, okay? Just like things pop up on your social media based on your Google searches, What you think, what you say are going to be based upon the outcome of your life and your
And the
choices.
people that you be around, because you can
And the
be in the
people,
store and
everything,
not even know people. It comes up
anything
on
that you
your
push into here that
social
affects your
media.
energy, anything that affects your energy, that is going to help. That is going to be an outcome of the choices that you make. So
Yeah.
we know that though.
Break
We
from
know
social
that.
media, people. Break from social media.
You gotta do that though. You gotta fast. But we know that there are times that because I used to wonder all the time, like, is the internet just in my business? Because I know I just was on here looking up bananas, and now I'm getting
Mhm.
different stores that got sales on bananas when I get on Facebook. What? Okay,
Yeah.
so just how that can create an algorithm for you. You have to be mindful of what you say, because what you say and what you do are creating an algorithm for your outcome.
Yeah. Your
So
whole
that's
life.
a part of your process. If you're going through a process, what you allow people to say to you, why this bothering you, you don't got advice from somebody and they telling you certain things while you talking to them and getting advice from them, and they saying things that ain't normally of your morale,
Hmm.
you gonna start ingesting some of that.
Yep. Got to be careful who you let pour into you.
I know they be listening.
You
It's
got to
all
be
out there.
careful who
I
you
know.
let pour into you. Because people say things and you'll start believing it when you don't even believe it. But they didn't said it to
Exactly.
you over and over and over again. Girl, well, we can't do this, or girl, you can't do that. Girl, no, you can't, but I can. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful because we process a lot throughout our day. We process a lot. You dealing with people on your job. They want to come in there with their problems, their business, talk about the job. People, they talking about their personal life. You trying to ignore it the best way you can, but you also sitting there processing everything that they saying.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes
To
you're not
help them
even
out anyway.
realizing it. That
Yep.
goes back to what I was saying about what I said my friend Jocelyn said about social media. How we used to be just hitting the like button,
Mm-hmm.
hitting the like button. Man, you ain't even reading what somebody actually said. You could be agreeing with something that you really don't agree with.
And you know how people go click through the likes and see who name under there. Be like, they feel like this. They because people judge you based on your social media posts, what you like on
Yep,
social media, all of that. So the company you keep, good, definitely be careful of
definitely.
the company you keep. For one, because like we already said, that they speak into you. They speak into
Hmm.
you. The people you have around speaks into you. I'm a very big proponent of advice. So I'm a utilized source of that. Even on my job, it's a lady going through a divorce. I hear about this every single day. But guess what? I done started doing.
What?
Because I can process for at that moment. I'm gonna be able to give you the advice, or I'm gonna be able to just be a listening ear. Because sometimes you just that's what they need, just a listening ear. So I can
Hmm.
tell when that's what it is. So I'll sit there, listen, but before I leave that office, I don't let that go because that's not. I can't contain everything that is presented to me. I can't contain it.
Hmm. You
But
got your
even if
own
it's
stuff
somebody
going
that I
on.
care about, I still have to sit, listen, give the advice. And after that, I gotta let it go. We gotta let that stuff go because holding on to what other people are going through, that starts to go into your energy bank now. Now
Hmm.
you get consumed of the things that don't even got anything to do with your life, but because it's
But
been
you
brought
bring it
into your
in there.
life, that's why I'll
You
be
going through
like,
it with your
I don't tell
female. You
people
going
when
through
I'm
it with
worried
your
about stuff like that.
dude.
It's hard to say that unless it's something, if it's a friend, if it's a friend or something like it correct Siobhan empaths. That's the way to say it. I always forget how to say that. But if you got a friend and y'all going through something, or you and your friend comes to talk to you about something, that's going to consume you a little bit because you care about that
Hmm.
person. But you still have to think about it in the way that This is something that this person is going through. I'll be there for them through the process, whatever
Yep.
they need through the process, but that's their process.
Don't consume yourself in it now.
It's so easy to get caught up in that. It's so easy to
Yep.
get caught up in anything.
Don't consume yourself in it at all. I
Family,
just be like,
friends,
yeah,
co-workers, anybody.
everybody, everybody. It is none of your business. Like I had to tell one of my patients' kids, look, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all family stuff that y'all got going on, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I am here to take care of the patient, which is your parent. That ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on or nothing. They pay me to take care of the patient. I ain't finna be choosing sides between who do this for the who for the That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm telling you. I'm
And
not
I'm
about to
look,
not
them
about to be
wealthy
jumping
people.
from telling this person something and then over here y'all done switch my words. I stay out of people's business, especially
Mm-mm.
family.
That's why I stay in my lane and I mind my own business. That's just what it is. And that's my piece.
Yep.
Staying in my
Well,
lane, minding my
my piece
own
is
business.
when I walk out of my work doors, everything about work and people are
Leave that
there.
work.
I don't allow, and but it took growth to get into that because every job hasn't been peaceful enough for me to leave work at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes people be all up in your head and you ain't got no choice but to take some of it home because you need to get it off of you. You need to get it off of you. So
Hmm.
sometimes you need to talk about it. But for the most part, if it ain't making me no money, it stay at the work at the job.
That's
So
what it needs to stay. Because people let stuff that happens to other people inflict on their lives and their situations, they relationships and everything. Like, and I don't know if some people don't realize it though. And that's even like with me, like listening to men talk. It was some guys having a conversation about that. And they was talking about like how men are about the different friendships that they females have. Like
mm-hmm,
he might like Kim, but your dude may not like Carrie over here. Cause
mm-hmm,
Carrie got a lot going on, and he don't
mm-hmm.
be wanting to hear that shit that Carrie got going on. And he be like, man, you need to start dealing with her. Like you bringing her issues into I before you know it, everything Carrie didn't talk to her about, child. They go now her and her dude going through it. Cause Carrie and her dude going through it.
Yeah, you got to keep that stuff out your relationship.
Mm-mm,
That's not y'all problem. And yeah,
mm-mm.
and people do bring that kind of stuff home. Like I don't think I ever did that in my marriage or whatever because I don't think that was just me. I don't believe in that.
No,
And then not only that, my friends issues that I talk to with my friends that ain't never got nothing to do with my man.
mm-mm. Like
Whatever
so,
men, whatever
it's
we
all a
talk about, you got to
process.
learn how to that's why I say you got to separate things. You got to keep things separate to where because your partner shouldn't have any idea what's going on between you and your friends or what they got going on separately
What they
because
got
that
going
means you
on,
are consumed. That's all he walk around. That's all you do is walk around the house on the phone talk about that and he hear it all day.
and he don't want to hear that.
Because you consumed.
He don't want to hear that.
Baby, we gonna
I don't
talk.
want to hear.
Baby, we gonna talk about this one time. We gonna let that go.
And we're gonna go on about our business.
That's right.
But it is a process. It's
It
a
is a
process for
process.
you to get to that mindset to be able to leave that at your job or wherever. It is all a process and it's all growth, all a learning experience.
and 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 processing it alone is not going to be the outcome every time. Sometimes you're going to have to talk to somebody. That's just really what it boils down to. When you see, and that I really believe in that. If you keep coming to the same brick wall, you're not doing it the right way. You're not doing
Hmm.
it the right way. Change up, do something different.
Yeah, got to
You're not
do.
helping yourself, you're not helping the people you care about, you're not helping anybody by continuously taking that same path of destruction to a no type of outcome. Nothing positive from the outcome. Don't let any being's false emergency become your priority. Very true indeed.
Okay. Leave all that over there now. Leave all that over there. There's a one of my patients. She said that to me one day. She was like, "Well, my client Amanda that I used to have, the fighter,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and she was like, her mom was like, "Well, Candace, how I don't like you have to be." Well, she said something to me. I was like, I said, "Because when I leave your door, when I walk out your front door, I leave everything that happened at your house at your front door." She was
Mm-hmm.
like, "It's just no way you can do that." I said, "Why it's not?" I
Who?
said, "I don't need to take my problems home that y'all got going on over here to my house for what for? Because they ain't my issues. Whatever issue that
Child.
your daughter have with me while I'm trying to do my job, that's on her. But I'm leaving it here at your front door. And then when I come back tomorrow, it's a new day. So that issue ain't even bothering me no more. Because I done went home, decompressed, relaxed, and had me a good old time to come back to do this all over again." She was like, "I just don't see if you that you can do that." I can.
Well, I'm sorry that you don't see that.
I
But
can.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
go home
taking your
and I'll go
problems
home
home.
and walk around talking to myself about something and figure it out. I'm telling you, I'm really I'm one of those people that before the end of the day, I'm gonna have an answer, a solution to my problem, to my situation. And I really believe that a lot of us are like that. I really do. I think that
Yeah.
we tend to not focus on it because we want to be angered. We want to drag it on. We want to keep dealing with it. We want to make it bigger than life. And it's not worth that most times.
It's
Most times the situations are so tiny and minute, and we blow them up into a bigger situation than what they really are, which and then in turn cause other issues.
hmm,
What you do to process things is going to make you or break you.
I'll break
That's
you.
going to be a sad thing because that middle ground of the processing. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. I was checking something out earlier, and so it's a beginning, middle, end processing. And to those who are listening, if you want to chime in and drop it in the comments, do please do so. Okay, so the young man was walking down the street, listen, with his headphones on, listening to his music or whatever, just jamming, whatever. And his homeboy walked up to him, was like, "Take your headphone out, take your headphone out." So he take one headphone out. He was like, "Bro, try this out, try this out." It was a joint or whatever. And
Hmm.
young man already knew, his mama been told him, his daddy been said, "You don't never hit no joint, you ain't never that you ain't see rolled
Come
up."
on now.
And
My mama taught us that.
yeah, baby. So but he trusts his friend.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
forgot about what he was taught and said, because they told him don't never trust nobody who don't, if you don't see it roll. It's now as
Don't
we
you?
get older into a different space in our life and we choose our friends better, it's gonna be different with that outcome.
Yeah,
I ain't got to
most
watch my
definitely.
homeboy do roll up or nothing to know that I
Or
trust what
fix
he
my
did.
drink.
Or nothing. I ain't got to watch that because I trust him. But as a 16-year-old kid, and I know that things are fucked up out here. But I remember what my mama just said because we both 16, so I ain't lived a long time. So my mama said, "Don't never hit nothing I ain't see roll." But he trusts his friend, so that's the beginning of the process. He hit the joint. He smoked the joint all the way through with his homeboy. His homeboy was like, "All right, homie, I'm gonna holler at you." Now this they done walking now. He done got his destination. He done turned and went left. He get over here. Now he becoming manic. He don't know what's going on. He's hyperventilating. He
Mm-hmm.
is
He done
seeing
hit that
things.
dirty.
His head messed up. He is spinning. And now he's seeing things that he didn't see when he was walking down the street or whatever. And so now he walks into the building or whatever. I think he was going to like a after school program or something. And he walks into the building and the parent, somebody see that he kind of like out
Losing it.
of it or whatever. And instead of them calling his mom, they called the police. When they called the police came there, shocked him, already in this state of mind that he's in. It's a process. This is him starting from the walk. Now he is going through the aftermath of him smoking.
Mm-hmm.
He is now in the back of a police car and he has no idea why he's back there. They said that they thought he was manic because he don't really know what he was doing when he walked in the
Mm-hmm.
building. He don't know what type of abrasions or what type of anything he might have been showing because he's not in his right set of mind. But end up in a jail and got to be bonded out. Parents come and get him, take him to the hospital. He have a seizure. In the middle of the seizure, he end up dying. That's a story. A
Wow.
story. So the whole going through the process, it back all the way back to the middle part because the beginning started with him leaving from the schoolhouse, taking that walk. The middle was that whole ride. I mean, that whole walk to the building he was
Mm-hmm.
going
To
to,
the building.
and this he's smoking, he talking, he fucking around with his friend. His friend walk away, and the ending is him going into this building and where he ended up dying at. So they say that middle part of your process is going to either make you or break you.
Break you. DMX
Had
had a story similar to that when he first hit the dirty joint
Yeah, I
that
remember that.
had crack in it, and it was, but he was like the dude was
That was his
somebody
uncle,
in the streets
somebody he
that he
trusted,
looked up to, he trusted. He's talking about,
or
but this
somebody
was
he
the
thought
same
was an
nigga that
uncle.
actually told me that I needed to be rapping and not be in the streets. But he the one gave me the dirty joint, and I didn't know that it was dirty.
And it wasn't even like just dirty, dirty, dirty. It was
It was
filthy.
crack. Yeah, crack.
So the process, that middle part, how you what you choose to do, how you choose to do it, when you choose to do it, what you let inside of you, what you let destroy your energy, what you let bother your energy, all of that is going to be the outcome of your process. It's gonna make you or break you. You got to choose
Make
that
or
though.
break you.
It's your choice. Queen, what you got
Mm.
to say to the people?
Hey, I ain't got nothing else to say. Like you said, it's your choice. It's all on it's all on you. And then the most important, it's all on you. And after you go through the process and what you have learned through that situation. Because as you going through it, you learn it, and you actually got to be able to teach others what you didn't learn through that. It's all Everything is connected in the universe. All of us are connected. So whatever Shell go through, Shell is gonna help somebody, or help
Mm-hmm.
me, or help her mom, help anybody. Same thing, vice versa with me. It's everything that you go through is really, it's for you to learn, but it's also for you to help somebody else as
Right.
well as you go through your process. But just don't give up. See it all the way through, because you're going to always have to go back. When you don't see it all the way through, you always got to go back. And then you got to start from the beginning. It don't go back to the middle. No, you go back to the
To the
beginning
beginning,
and
every
start all
time,
over again till you
every
get to the
time.
ending that you're supposed to actually get to. So trust it through the process. Trust whatever belief you believe. I believe in Jesus, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. That's me. That's me. That's what I believe. And as I believed in that, and where my faith at, and where I'm walking spiritually, that's what helped me get through whatever I'm getting through. I don't know about the rest of you, but trust what's inside of you. God lives inside of all of us. Trust that and just go through it. But journal, write stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you don't want to write it down, I just said this before on this podcast. Get that phone, speak into the phone,
Mm-hmm. And
record
save it.
yourself, save it. Go back some years later and be like, dang, look at the growth. I write myself a letter every year. King Player said you need to start writing. You need to write yourself. That year he told I was 2018. I want to say he told me to do that. I wrote myself. I ain't even opened the letter from 2020 that I wrote myself yet. I need to actually open it up and read it because I didn't write one for 2021. So I need to write one to myself. And I always see growth in what I didn't wrote and growth in myself. So it was a
It's a
process for
benefit.
me to get there. Yeah, it was a process for me to get to the mindset that I am now. But look, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for it because it could be worse.
That's right.
It could be
And but
worse.
and through it all, as long as you're walking the line of what you're set out to do and again and trusting your process, everything is going to turn out for the greater good. And again, it may be bumpy, but it might be written for it to be bumpy. It may be a little shaky, might be written for it to be a little shaky. Everything is not going to be easy in the process.
It's
What you
not always
do
gonna be
and how
smooth.
you do it is going to determine how you get through it. So, again, trust the process. We like
Trust
you. We
it.
love you. We appreciate you all for tuning in today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time and your consumership and your viewership. Yeah, that's another one. Viewership. Thank y'all for
Viewership.
tuning in to SW Podcast today. We will catch y'all next Wednesday as we come back and have another wonderful discussion. I think we got a guest next week, if I'm not mistaken. But make sure you tune
Ooh.
in. Be live in effect with us. Hit these comments in the comment drop box because y'all really be having us rolling on here. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Peace. Take it easy.